Before Scars, I had really only tried boulders that I thought I could do in a handful of sessions, but during the COVID pandemic I figured I might as well put some time into something really hard and see what I could do. The boulder kind of sucked me in because on day one I could do almost all the individual moves, so I was pretty sure it was possible, but I could kind of tell linking the moves together was going to be a long process. It took 3 sessions to figure out a sequence I liked. I start off with an easy intro move and then plug a toe cam. I go right hand to a good pinch and then twist deep into the toe cam to get a slopey crimp, and then go again to a big slope crimp. The cam can be finicky and it's really important to have stiff shoes so you can really twist into it. Then from there, I set a bad heel hook to come into a small undercling crimp. I have to be really precise with my heel placement because if it's a little bit off, it'll just end up slipping out. From there, I adjust my heel to a better spot and then slam right hand to a good edge, which is my crumbs move. And then I can flip left hand to a pinch and release my feet. Then you get a big foot to plug a bike and come into a slopey intermediate. Then I do a deep drop knee to go left hand again to a sharp crimp. Then I go right hand up to the intermediate, set my foot on a little pebble, and launch to a jug, which is definitely my red point crux. From the jug, the outro climbing is pretty easy. After 8 sessions, I had climbed the boulder in 2 pieces, but getting through the crux move was really inconsistent, and when I did get through there, I just had no energy left for the top. On day 9, I peeled the heel rand off my shoe, making the heel moves pretty much impossible, so I decided to play around with my beta. I ended up finding a sequence where I flip my left hand from the undercling crimp. It basically breaks the crux into 2 slightly easier moves that are much more consistent. With this beta, I found myself getting through the crux a lot more consistently, and I felt like I had a lot more energy for the moves up top. At this point, I could do all the individual moves pretty much 10 out of 10, and it was starting to feel like it was just a matter of time. Made it to the last move on 3 out of 5 attempts, getting pretty much as close as you possibly can without actually doing it. I went back the next day and fell from that move 2 more times. That night I started feeling some pain in my finger, but I knew the weather window for the boulder was closing and I felt super close, so I just decided to ignore the pain and keep going back and trying. On day 12, I had one of my worst sessions. It was pretty clear my finger was weaker than usual. I couldn't even climb through the crux that day.
Yep, I'm done. Let's go.
I found out I had a partial A2 pulley tear, and that ended my season, and I ended up spending all summer resting and rehabbing my finger on a hangboard. By fall, I was climbing again, but my finger was still weak, especially in a crimp position. I went back to scars 3 times that season, but it was pretty clear my finger wasn't 100% and I lacked the endurance from not being able to climb all summer. I made it through the crux a couple times, but never matched my high point from spring. I spent most of the winter trying to regain strength and fitness. By spring, my finger was finally feeling as strong as before I hurt it, and I was able to crimp again. Going into spring, I felt strong, and I thought I had a good chance of climbing the boulder. Individual moves were feeling easier than they ever had, but for some reason I was still struggling to link moves together. After 3 days, I still hadn't climbed past the crux from the bottom. I decided to go back one more day and told myself if I didn't get past the crux, I would call it quits for the season. That day, I went back with a brand new pair of instincts that were really stiff, and the toe cam and heel hook felt a lot more secure than usual.
Come on. Come on, everything, come on! Yes!
My very last burn of the day, I stuck the crux.
Come on, Matt. Stay tight. Good, good. Real smooth. Come on. Lock it in there.
I ran out of energy for the last move, but I convinced myself that it was worth going back for at least one more session.
Come on.
On day 21, I made a last-minute beta change and decided to kick my feet up to the big foot instead of walking up to save time. My first burn of the day, I matched my high point from almost a year earlier. For the first time since I hurt my finger, I thought I could actually climb this today.
Let's go!
Can't wait to never do this hike again.